Last week I prevented a bloodbath at my job. Let's talk about it. For the purposes of this story and to protect everybody, all the innocent victims involved, we're going to change the names. My boss is Ding Dong. The villain is the crybaby. The victim here is myself, Teddy, Teddy's brother, and Tisha. Okay, now for some backstory. The crybaby got his name simply because he likes to throw temper tantrums. Here's the catch. He only throws temper tantrums with the black and brown employees in the office. Okay? So that's me, that's Teddy, that's Tisha, that's Teddy's brother, and another person who works in the office. Two other people are Grandpa and Mufasa, right? The crybaby is 40-something years old. White, Caucasian, blonde hair, blue eyes, male. Okay? When he throws these temper tantrums, it's usually himself, and it's usually him inserting himself in something he has nothing to do with. When he attacked me, it was 3 months after I had gotten hired on full time. I was throwing some boxes away in the dumpster outside in the back. He runs after me, tells me not to throw those boxes away. That's not something he can tell me to do or not. So I continued to throw the boxes away, ignoring him. He didn't like the fact that I was ignoring him, right? So he stands outside the door. Mind you, we're in the back alley of our office. And when I come back to walk in the back door, back into the office, he is livid. Are you ignoring me? Did you hear me? This is not how you're supposed to do things. This is not how a company is run. And so I ignored him. Walked towards the door. He rushes ahead of me, slams the door closed, steps up into my face, and asks me again, did you hear me when I was talking to you? I do an about face and walk towards the front of the building. The entire time, he's walking behind me, screaming at the top of his lungs, this is not professional behavior. This is not how you're supposed to work in a professional environment. And when he saw that I was just ignoring him, he ran ahead of me back into the office and proceeded to throw a temper tantrum in front of everybody in the office. Everybody was there in the office that day. Proceeded to throw a temper tantrum, talking to our boss, Ding Dong, telling him, I told you need to do something about her or I'm no longer going to work here. She is disrespectful. I tried to tell her to do something. She completely ignored me. I'm not going to handle this. I'm leaving. Slams his stuff down and walks out in front of everybody. Remind you, he is not my supervisor. That was with me. Now, mind you, this wasn't the first time he had threw a temper tantrum with me. So I decided to nip this in the bud and report it directly to HR. HR doesn't even work in the building. HR doesn't even work in the state. HR works on the other side of the country. Sent them an email. HR is a Wicked Witch of the East. Sent them an email and told them what had happened. The next day, had a conversation with Ding Dong, my boss. He says it's my fault. Just give him what he wants. He needs him. Give him what he wants. He knows me. Mind you, I'd only been working at the company for 6 months. He says he knows me and that he knows that I ignored him for a reason. But in the future, if I just give him what he wants, those types of situations won't happen. Ah, yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, cheaper and it's bigger. Boom. So I'm like, fine, okay, whatever. I didn't say that to him. I just let it go. But mind you, he does this with all the people of color in the office. So with Teddy, he's told him, blown up at him for no reason, telling him, I'm going to get you fired. I am your supervisor. You don't listen to me, I'm going to get you fired. Mind you, he's not a supervisor. Why is he not a supervisor? Because he throws these temper tantrums. Yes. So up until I had got hired on, I had everybody in that office, besides the crybaby, wrapped around my pinky finger, because I'm real fucking good at what I do. All of these people were young in the 80s. So they appreciate my expertise in helping them stay relevant and up to date with current trends, right? So this is why Ding Dong fought so hard to hire me on permanently. Because when I started working there, it was just as a temporary situation, right? After that stunt is when I spoke to my mentors and I started keeping notes. Now here's where I messed up. There was one day after that stunt that the crybaby blew up on Teddy. Teddy does not play these games. Thus began the unfortunate pattern of Teddy coming into my office whenever the crybaby upsets him, telling me how he is not the type of person to take disrespect lightly and how he wants to meet him in the parking lot because he's just so disrespectful. And so after the crybaby's big blow up with me, I started keeping notes of every single thing that was happening and going on, right? And so I took notes of that. However, once Ding Dong found out that this blow up had happened, I calmed Teddy down. Let's go back to that. When he came into my office, I calmed him down, told him to talk to Ding Dong. He didn't do anything. Again, he blames Teddy. Says that it's Teddy's fault because this is Teddy's first big boy job and he doesn't understand how things work, and Teddy is anxious a lot or whatever. But also at the same time saying that the crybaby has daddy issues and mental health issues, and this is why he, likes to, pee on the fire hydrant, is what he said. Exact words. He likes to pee on the fire hydrant to mark his territory, is what he said, when he feels threatened. And we should just let him do it and let it go in one ear and out the other. Leave it alone. And so that would have been all well and good, but here's where I messed up. Ding Dong's wife also works at the company part-time. And when she was there after the blow up that day, after I spoke to Teddy, I messed up and showed her my write-up because she kept asking me whose fault did I think it was. And I'm not going to sit here and get in the middle of that. That's not my job. And so to shut her up, I just showed her the write-up that I had from earlier that day, Teddy coming into my office, and exactly what I told him. From that moment on, I have been treated as a pariah by Ding Dong's wife and HR. Names, code names, Wicked Witch of the West, wife, Wicked Witch of the East, HR. Here's the thing though. Teddy is a big dude. Brown person, big dude. I call him Teddy Bear because he's sweet as can be. But here's the thing about Teddy. He's an ex-MMA fighter. Yeah. He's a trained MMA fighter. So, when he's coming to me, talking about I'm ready to meet him in the parking lot. Why is he like this? Why doesn't Ding Dong do anything about him? He's serious about that mess. So last week, the crybaby was having a fit with Mufasa. Mufasa leaves because he's not on that mess today. Because Mufasa left, and while he was berating Mufasa, Teddy tried to step in. He turns to Teddy and says, "Shut up, this has nothing to do with you," and continues to berate Mufasa. Now pause, because I need y'all to know that Teddy's brother, Mufasa, and Grandpa are the sweetest human beings ever. Mufasa, man, like, I tell him about how my struggles of writing my book, because I'm writing a book right now. I tell him my struggles about writing it, and he listens and he supports me. He always recognizes when I'm wearing a brand new crown. The grandpa is so sweet. Like he's just, I can't even describe the grandpa. He's just like a grandpa. Your perfect grandpa. That's what he is. And Teddy and his brother are just sweet, nice as can be, right? But when you're berated every single day for stupid stuff, and most of the time it has nothing to do with the other person that's getting into your mix, he is not your supervisor, and nothing is being done about it, you want to go off. And that's what happened. So last week, as I said, the crybaby attacked Mufasa first. Mufasa left. And then he focused his efforts on the teddy bear. Now, I'm in my office away from them, but the crybaby is so loud, I hear every single word he says to them. So I'm writing it down, taking notes of everything that's happening, right? But then I wasn't paying attention. I was doing something. I wasn't paying attention when the crybaby said something to Teddy Bear and then walked out of the office. Completely walked out of the office. I guess he said it before he left for his lunch. The next thing I hear, doosh, 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 doosh. The teddy bear is running after the crybaby. He was ready to meet him outside. Ready to meet him outside. I walk out of my office like, what is going on? What was that? This motherfucker, he's getting on my nerves. I'm gonna kill him. I'm so tired of this. Why doesn't anyone do anything? I am so mad. Let me walks outside. Meet me outside. I'm ready. His brother trying to hold him back. I'm like, yo, come into my office. Come into my office. Let's have a discussion. So I bring him into my office, and this is when Tisha tries to get involved. I kick her out. Tisha is a wannabe woke person, but she's dealing with her own demons right now. So I didn't want her involved because I low-key don't know if I can trust her. Probably can't. So I kicked her out of my office, and I'm just talking to the teddy bear. I'm like, you gotta calm down. He's like, I know, but he makes me so angry. Why doesn't he leave me? I know. I understand. But do you understand that if you retaliate the way you are wanting to retaliate, they're going to blame you. They're not going to blame the crybaby. They're going to blame you, and then you're going to be out of a job. I know, but like, why doesn't anyone do anything? I know exactly why he's not doing anything, ding dong. Because he's exactly like the crybaby. Just different fonts. Racism doesn't show up the same way in every person. It doesn't. He's exactly like him. He's like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't know what to do, but I'm tired of this. I understand. Your anger is valid. The things he says and does are not okay. However, with the way the job market is set up right now, make the money and dip. I told him these people are at the end of their lives, at the end of their careers. You are just getting started. Make the money and jump ship when it's time, right? Then he walks out of his office. He walks back into the main room, and he's still, loudly shouting about how upset he is. And all of it's valid. All of it is valid. All of his concerns are valid. Him being upset is valid because the things that the crybaby does are messed up. But the thing is, he's doing this in front of some other team players that I haven't discussed yet. The teenager, the slave master. Like, they don't care. And so next thing you know, it's me, Teddy's brother, and Tisha, or Tina, whatever I called her, sitting in the front discussing this. And I'm like, yo, go take a lunch break. Go take a lunch break and calm down. He's like, no, I'm ready to meet him. I'm ready to kill him. No. We're not killing nobody today. I'm not seeing you go down like that on my watch. It ain't happening. We're standing in the front, having a kiki. The brother is like, I have never dealt with insanity like this before. This is the worst it's ever been. Because let's be honest, when you're a black and brown person, you experience this in every single workplace you ever have, right? But he's like, this is the worst it's ever been. And I'm like, yeah, it is for me too. And Teddy is like, why doesn't Ding Dong do anything about it? And I'm like, yo, the last time you told something happened, you told him, what did he do? He's like, nothing. I was like, exactly. He does not care about you. He does not care about me. He does not care about us. All he cares about is his bottom line. So all you need to care about is your bottom line. Don't let them mess up your life. And I hate that I had to tell them this, because basically I'm telling them to do nothing. It feels like I'm telling them to do nothing, when what they should be doing is reporting it to HR, and then if HR does nothing, reporting it to the employment Department of Employment, whatever it is. Like, but the way the job market is set up right now, I told him, make the money and then leave. So I told him, right now you need to go, you need to calm down, you need to cool off. It took me 30 minutes to talk him off the ledge. Even when I got him to walk outside and drive off the property, he was still walking around the parking lot trying to find the crybaby. Because sometimes the crybaby, we didn't realize this until I had him drive off the property and go to lunch, but sometimes the crybaby walks around the building a couple of times. He takes breaks to take a little walk or whatever. So we're all thinking that he just went out for a walk. And so he's in the parking lot waiting, circling the parking lot, waiting for him to make an appearance so he can pop off on him. I'm like, no, drive off the property, go have lunch, come back, calm, cool, collected. This whole time, the crybaby had actually went to lunch, so he drove off the property himself. What does this all mean for me? It's just a sign. That's what it is. A sign for me to get my ish together. That's what it is. Because you know what happened also last week? The whole TikTok ban situation. That all happened all together in 1 week. And it's like, I'm just now realizing that I might have been depressed for the last month, right? And I asked God to give me a sign, like, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know what my goals are. I'm the next Oprah, okay? I was put on this earth for 3 reasons: to entertain, to end homelessness in America, and to inspire women of color specifically to reach past their struggles for their goals and their dreams. That's why I'm here on this earth. That's why I'm here making the world go wrong, right? But what do I do next? What is my next step? Because there's so many different things. There's so many different pieces. What's next? And the thing is, I already know what's next. But I'm afraid. I'm very, very afraid. In February, God showed me my power. And I got terrified. Terrified. So it's like, this was just a sign. It was a sign. Why am I spending my time when I could be writing my book at work? Why am I spending my time when I can be editing and uploading TikToks? Why am I spending my time when I can be writing and uploading blog posts to talk down your employees and prevent them from popping off? Why is that my job? It's not. So the next time something of this magnitude happens, I need to stay out of it. I need to stay out of it, protect my peace, and work like hell on my own goals. Do what I told him, make the money and dip when it's time. So yeah, that's what happened. And I can't even be mad because I asked for this. You know? I asked God to give me a job that I would hate so that I wouldn't get comfortable. And God showed me last week, you getting comfortable. That's what he said. He said, you getting comfortable. Come up out of that. And so, this is why I'm here creating this YouTube video now for the journey. Because I am the next Oprah. I am going to win a PGOT. PGOT. That's Pulitzer, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. I'm going to have the #1 book, movie, song at the same time. J-Lo holds that now. Not for long. Not for long. I am going to end familial homelessness in America. I'm going to make $1 billion, but die broke. Why? Because all the money is going to the homeless families in America. Women of color all across the globe will realize their power, their strength, their worth, and reach past their struggles for their goals and dreams. This is my legacy. This is the beginning. It's time to get to work, though. So let's get to work.